Sydney is tonight gripped by extreme heat, with fire crews on high alert as temperatures refuse to fall below 30 degrees. In a moment, we'll get the latest from Rural Fire Service headquarters. But first, let's cross to reporter Lizzie Pearl at Bondi Beach. Lizzie, just how hot did it get?
Well, Pete, right now at Bondi, it is still 35 degrees and the beach is absolutely packed. We didn't get to the record 39 degrees that was predicted, but it was a scorcher nonetheless. Sydney sizzled its way through the hottest start to spring in more than 70 years and the third hottest October day in a Sydney harbour sunrise, the simmer before the boil, as a shipload of tourists cruise in just in time for an early summer. A bare Bondi at 7, by 2 in the afternoon, the sand was packed.
Up to 25,000 people, so looks it's getting there now, crowds coming in.
A dunk and a dip, the perfect heatwave remedy.
Because, I mean, this is the obvious place to come when it's hot, isn't it?
He loves it. He just wants to sit in the waves. I've had enough, but he clearly hasn't.
Oh, well, it's absolutely fantastic, but we stupidly didn't bring our swimming things, so we're paddling rather than swimming.
In our west, it was thirsty work laying a footpath in Penrith, while fire crews were on standby, ready for an extreme fire day. So far, not the disaster forecast. At 6 in the morning, it was already 20 degrees. By 10, the temperature had hit 30. Midday, Sydney had reached 34.5 degrees, and just after 3, we got close to the record, hitting a maximum of 37.3 degrees.
The record for Sydney's October maximum temperature was set in 2004 when the temperature hit 38.2 degrees.
Well, on a day like today, this is definitely the place to be, although I must say the water temperature is feeling a little chilly. It's around 19 degrees, but on a day like today, it feels a lot colder. As always, the zoo was quick to cool off the locals. Chimp ice treats, usually reserved for summer, served up in spring. Sydney runners didn't get the memo, pounding the pavement in 30-plus temperatures, while the tall ships who've called Australia home for the last week hightailed it out of the harbour, heading for a much cooler Kiwi climate. At Parramatta Pool, an after-school cool-off. Out of the classroom for a well-deserved splash. Lizzie Pearl, 9 News.
Meanwhile, 2 suspected arsonists have been arrested, accused of deliberately lighting a bushfire on this day of extreme fire danger. Reporter Tom Steinfort is at Rural Fire Service headquarters tonight. Tom, what more can you tell us?
Look, Pete, this relates to a blaze that came close to homes in the Hunter Valley. Aerial crews there spotted 2 people leaving the area where the fire began. A short time later, a man and a woman were arrested and they're currently being questioned by detectives. Now, it's believed that a firebug may also be responsible for 3 separate fires that began in Bonnyrigg this afternoon in Sydney's southwest, and investigators are now on the scene out there looking into what started those separate fires. It's pretty disappointing given that the fire danger level across the state approached catastrophic in many areas, but amazingly we've had no major blazes break out. The danger period hasn't passed though. We're told that with this change coming through later in the day, we can expect winds up to 130 kilometres an hour. As it stands right now, we have 60 fires still burning across the state. The 1+ for firefighters is that they do have some extra tools in their arsenal. 2 sky cranes arrived this morning and they will be helping throughout summer on the major blazes that do pop up across the state. They're being assembled at the moment and they'll be ready to go in a couple of days.
All right, Tom, thank you. I want to go to Amber Sherlock now. She's going to join us with a breakdown of the record heat. Amber, what caused this extreme weather?
Thanks, Pete. Well, the scorching temperatures were caused by northwesterly winds pushing in from the interior ahead of a cold front that's already moving through southern New South Wales. Sydney sweltered through its hottest October day in 9 years, reaching 37.3 degrees in the city, but it was hottest at the airport where it reached 37.8. Now, it's likely to stay in the early 30s until 9 p.m, and we really won't see temperatures cool down until a southerly buster moves through just before midnight, causing temperatures to drop by up to 10 degrees in a matter of minutes. A severe weather warning is in place ahead of that change, with wind gusts expected to reach at least 100 kilometres an hour along the coast. But it won't be the last of the warm weather. I'll be back a little later with the full forecast, Pete.
Amber, thank you.